everybody. Fantastic Friday, friends, like Sean has added to our chat there. Welcome, everybody. We're very, very happy to see you. It's just me and Shannon tonight. Our guest is in Costa Rica, and so we rescheduled a very cool guest. So we rescheduled to the third week of May. So
I would like
how
to
are
be in
you?
Costa Rica. I think
Yeah.
that would be awesome.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I was like, good for you. Mm, an impromptu trip. Uh, let's take more of those.
Oh yeah.
We we have our very um, well, I don't know how planned. Well, it's planned. I don't know how well planned, but we have our trip coming up next week where we are going to Sedona. Shannon and I are both heading to Sedona to help host the Rise of the Guardians conference in Sedona at the Performing Arts Center. And if I think Atam Ra, she's going to the Michael Jackson movie tonight, she said, but she's going to be there. I don't know if anybody else that comes to the
Sean's gonna
chat.
be there.
Oh, Sean. Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, Sean and his
with
wife
you.
Annie. Yeah,
With you.
yeah, they're going. And I don't know if Zach and Miranda are on, but my brother Zach and his wife Miranda are gonna go, and me,
Yeah.
and our friend Rebecca.
Yes. It's going to be awesome. You're bringing your whole family to get a bunch of upgrades and activations, and then when you go back, you're going to be sparkly new.
I'm for
So,
this plan. I was telling Sean earlier, I said, I know everybody, like, whenever they're setting out to Sedona or Mount Shasta or all of these, like, high energy, beautiful places, they're like, I'm going to get something from this. But I feel very strongly that I'm going to gain some knowledge of what I don't know. But I just have this sense of, like,
yeah.
something good is going to come to us.
I sure
Hey,
hope so.
Nikki. Hey, Tiger Paw.
Hi, friends. I gathered all my little spray bottle accessories. I was so for anybody that's coming, I'm gonna make. I guess it's definitely a joint effort, but I'm gonna make some ancient mineral sprays, and we're gonna pass them out for whomever at the conference. And so I gathered all of it. I was gonna make them, and then I'm like, wait, why don't I just make them there? Because
We'll
I've
make it there.
well, yeah, I mean, it'll take moments, but also I want to use Sedona water.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I have I've I refilled all of my I have like five-gallon jugs, and I get oh my goodness, what's wrong with me? The good water. Um Something's wrong with my brain every time I try to remember what it's called, but I go and get like really good water. And I filled them up last week, and then I like the next day I was like, "Oh my gosh, I totally just filled up all the gallons, that I use because I usually show up in Sedona with all of them empty so I can refill them at the spring." So I'm like trying to put in all these different objects and drink more water, which that's not going to hurt me. So I can bring all my empty vessels to refill at Harding Springs on Thursday when I get there, and then I'll just heat that up and make the ancient minerals. And I got some lavender Epsom salt to add to it. It smells so good.
Ooh.
So yeah, so they'll be scented and beautiful. Yeah. Ooh, so how's everybody been? Y'all share since we don't have a guest, we can be a little more interactive if you want to share how your week has gone or what's going on in your life or and please just start asking questions because Shannon and I are here to channel. We can even add the link to the chat and you can come on screen if you want to, if you want a live reading and in person. That's a possibility. I got us Shannon and I got us shirts for the conference too, our Enlighten Up Media logo. Yeah. All right, cool. Trying to think if has anybody been zapped into a new timeline or a new life. I myself have been way more motivated and ambitious, and also I almost feel out of body. Like I've been really accomplishing so much stuff in the last 2 days, but I'll stop and I'll be like, "Am I forgetting something?" Like I have to keep looking at my little notes that I add to my calendar, um, because I feel like I'm almost like watching myself do all these things, which, you know, I'm happy to be productive, but oh, thank you, Sean. Yeah, I'm very happy. We have a good t-shirt shop here in San Diego. Oh, and we actually got an extra third because I always request unexpected abundance and it never fails. And so I got, when I printed Shannon's shirt, I walked in and there were two shirts sitting there at the register, and the woman and I are kind of looking at them, and she's looking at the receipt, and I'm wondering, and so she turned to the girl and she's like, "What? Why are there two shirts here?" And the girl said, "Well, I didn't think the first one was like perfectly centered, and so I did a second one." And I was okay, and you couldn't even tell with the second one. So then the woman looked at me and she's like, "You want to just pay for the price of the t-shirt and get the second one?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So we got a bonus.
That's awesome.
Yeah, someone else can. It's definitely more of a girl style because it's the drop shoulder crop, But um, yeah, so we can have a third person running around just telling everybody how cool and lighten up media is.
I like it.
Shannon just disappeared and went to another state and then returned like within 24 hours, right?
Yep. I flew to Idaho and I came back. I flew on Wednesday, went to a 3-hour meeting, and then came back on Thursday. And my second flight got canceled, all sorts of travel delay kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I finished up the week, and I'm like, the workday ending and having a weekend and knowing that we're going to Arizona, I am so happy. Like I'm like,
I want to cry.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled. But it's been a really weird week. Like for
Mhm.
me, Nikki was saying she's feeling the moon in Scorpio and it's heavy. Mine has just been like weird. I've had like some strange, bizarre family stuff, and then like extended family stuff. And then, this work trip that it was one of those like this meeting could have been an email. Well, this
Yeah.
meeting could have been online. Everybody was online except for like 4 people showed up, other than like me and my crew.
Yeah.
But there was a person insisting that, you need to go in person. You need to go in person. So it was good. I got to catch up with some people. And then Tuesday, we did like some sort of like all day training workshop. I'm not a morning person. Like Sean and Nikki both know, I'm not a morning person.
Yeah, me neither.
I've been up at 4 o'clock in the morning every single day this week, like going to airports, taking people to airports, like doing airport related things. And then this morning, like our dog woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going bonkers. So for whatever reason, 4 a.m. has been my time this week.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, the good news
I'm a
is
night timer.
wait, am I right or wrong? I was thinking it's going to benefit you because when it's like, no, I guess it's going to go in the reverse, huh? Because you're ahead of us by 2 hours.
I'll be up at 3 a.m.
Now, I was hoping that you'd be able to sleep in because, like, at 9 a.m. in Sedona, it's already 11 there. So, yeah, that's gonna incoming. Just pick a spot. Come on, honey, come here. Okay, sorry.
Where's
There's
that
two.
baby headed?
Yeah, well, I have two doves that you can't see because they're looking at me. One's on my light and one's on my computer, and so I think she was trying to join, but she didn't know where to. It's not a whole lot of room, y'all. Every time I sit down here, I have to fix my crystal grids, find crystals, find where things have been moved. Um, Typically fix my camera. That's usually just kind of hanging in front of my computer. And I don't know. We were doing good for a while, and now it's just been It's just been a little chaotic over here. That's all right. That's all right. They're probably like, "Well, you mess up my cage every week when you clean it." We had things perfect and then
And then you
happy
ruined it. You moved their stuff.
yeah, happy Beltane, Barbara. um, let's see. What else? Well, we all survived all the planets going into Aries and then Pluto moving and
Uranus moving.
yeah, yeah, that's cool. I'm feeling good. I'm a little spacey, but I'm feeling good. Like I'm excited. Are you taking off Wednesday from work?
So I had planned to take off Wednesday, and then in a weird twist of events today, my boss was like, "Some stuff is happening." And it doesn't really like affect me and my team,
Yeah.
but it's happening like adjacent to our team. And she's like, "I know you're off, but could you do this thing?" So sort of, I'm just gonna like have meetings and go in and out and try to like get ready and pack and all that in between. And then we're going to fly in on the 7th and out on the 12th. And I think, Sean, you guys are staying like the rest of the week, I think.
You're
And
so
we're
you're
going to
you're leaving on the following Wednesday?
the following Tuesday.
Have
So
I been saying the date wrong?
we're going to go to the Grand Canyon, which I'm super excited about,
On Monday.
on Monday, and then we're
Okay.
going to fly out that next day.
I guess I was looking. Okay. Okay, you're right. Oh, I keep thinking until literally right now that Mother's Day was the 9th, but it's the 10th. Okay, I just have to remember that part. Okay. Okay, okay. Very cool. Yeah, I'm leaving the same time. We're just driving. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. Um,
I know, I'm excited.
yeah, yeah. So that's next week, and on Friday we're gonna be clocking people in. We're gonna be signing people in. I think at 4 or 5. I know we
Mm-hmm.
have to be there at 4. So
Yep.
I don't know about doing a live next week. Like at first I was until okay, before we found out that there was going to be this incredible Native American Hopi prophecy uh, like opening ceremony and then amazing dancing. Before that, I thought we would go live that night, in Sedona together. That would be really fun. Now I have no idea. Like I could, I can put my phone on and we can like, I was thinking like you and I could each wear one earbud so we could, although that's kind of silly because no, no, I think we would have to do that. That would actually correct the sound a little bit. And we could try, so like we're at a sports game or something, like we're newscasters, we could try to
Oh, I like
chat,
it. Narrate
chat.
what's going on.
And as our friends and the speakers and people come by, we could just grab them and make them say hi. So there's that. There's a possibility of that, and I think everybody would be patient and probably laugh at our chaos. So maybe um, I can. Yeah, they're going to be. Good grief! Take next Friday off from the chat. Yeah, I could film the opening ceremonies, that's true, but it's gonna be a little bit later. So if we were to stick with the time we normally do, there's a chance. And even if it's
Mhm.
30 minutes, it would still be fun to do it from Sedona and like as people are running by, just make them say hi. They're going to be recording podcasts there's a it's not necess it's not a second level, it's not like a second story in the Performing Arts Center. It's almost like a loft. Oh, that's in part like overlooks part of the lobby, and basically it backs up to the top of the audience inside the theater. And they're going. Journey to Truth is going to record up there, and someone else. I can't remember who the other one is. So, because I was like, oh, that would be cool if we could actually sit up there and maybe it would be set up and we would actually look like we're on a podcast. Just use someone else's face when they're not there. Who knows? So we may or may not be here next week, and we probably really genuinely won't know until Friday. So um, if I find that if we're gonna make the attempt, then I will put um, I'll schedule the live on YouTube, and you'll get the notification, y'all. If you want to bear with us. Okay, that's enough of that. Um, what else? Oh, so does anyone have any questions? Or Shannon, do you have anything that you wanted to share? Like thinking
Oh,
about this tonight?
I wanted to say, Nikki and Nita, who were on with us
Yeah.
previously, we did a really interesting animal healing over the weekend. And I don't even remember what days are anymore. I think we did it on Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday. And it was amazing. We had this lady, Stacy, who had a dog who was waking up in the middle of the night and sort of like guarding over her. And she hadn't done that behavior before. And she was seeing something around Stacy. And Nikki and I are like, oh, we think this is like extraterrestrial. And so, like, John helped and we all like worked with this lady. It was very cool. She had good results in like the following days. Nikki, I don't know if you've heard anything else, but we had an animal healing like banner day. So in the future, we may open this up if anybody has an animal or has something going on. This may be something that we sort of open up, sort of like a doggy cat
Oh, I love
bird
that.
group.
Yeah. Like when the Pope
Yeah,
blesses the animals once a
yeah,
year.
like that. Only,
We're getting
it's
a
just
message.
us.
Yeah. Hey, it's all coming from the same source. So we're getting a message from Amber, sending love from the Appalachian Mountains, just flying over to do some grid work. Love yous.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, and
She's
she
not
sent us,
in Nikki's neck of the woods.
yeah, and she sent us a little picture of her plane flying over. That's so cool.
I
Huh.
love
Yeah, so love from Amber. Oh, does one of you wanna message your friend Nita? She is clicking on the link to join the stream, and this has happened before. She probably gets the wrong link. She looks at the wrong link, so you can send her the YouTube link, which I could. Ooh, what is that?
Ooh, dogs.
Is
Sorry.
is someone there? Let's see. There we go.
Yeah,
Okay, I
John came
just.
back with pizza, so everybody lost their mind.
Oh, yeah. So everyone should be on their best behavior, but they're not. That's so funny. Shannon, I just sent you the link for the YouTube if you want to send it to your friend Nita. Okay, so friends, now that there's more of you on here, we are going to do sessions or readings. So if anyone has questions that they would like, or just a general reading, you can request it. And also, if you're interested in actually coming on the screen, I can drop the link for this session, this episode, in the chat, and then you could actually click on and join us live if you are interested. Oh, and
Yep.
Nikki said that the woman that had the dog has done well this week and even initiated play with Stacy.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Very cool. So instead of my doves crooning constantly, it's your house, huh? It doesn't matter.
Oh, they have just lost their mind. Friday has turned into pizza day, so I don't have to cook or anything. And they all know that like he's bringing back something they want. They don't necessarily get it, but they want it.
Okay, Nita's on. Good. Thank you. Let's see.
Nita, we were just talking about Stacy and her pupper and how well that went.
Yay. Is anything really cool happened to anyone this weekend, they want to share it in the chat so we can talk about it? Shannon and I are not as prepared for this, besides just being used to doing it, because our guest, who was amazing, um, told me he had to reschedule like 3 hours ago. And so I just told Shannon, let's just do readings. So if
Yeah.
anybody wants a reading, please add your question or your request. Emily wants to know what the deal is with her and Cabo.
Hmm.
You and Cabo. I want to go to Cabo someday. A lot of people go to Cabo. I've never been to Cabo.
I've never been
Um,
to Cabo either.
I just saw maracas, like the shakers, but that's probably just general symbolism. Um, are you, uh, Emily, have you found someone in Cabo, like an account, like an Instagram? I'm getting shaman, and like maybe somebody's having a retreat there that you want to be a part of. Um, I can see a gathering in a space that has like very high rock or cave walls. So I feel like it's like a retreat or a group. Retreat's the best word for it. But the word shaman comes through, and then I can see the space, and it's like a small group of women together to do like some really big work together. Hi, Sherry.
Does it keep coming up for you over and over, like references to Cabo too? Do you want to come on and talk now that you have freshly showered hair?
That's funny. Um, oh, you were supposed to, so
Oh,
M says I
so
was
it was
supposed
a
to go to,
retreat,
and today I had to decide about going. Oh,
and you
wow.
decided not to go.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, it has to be 100% yes or it's a no.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm supposed to be there but can't afford to go. Then just set the intention that you wanted you open up the vibration of abundance so that money will come in to stay, and with ease and almost effortless, so that you can save up for the next one.
Yes.
You know, when something doesn't work smoothly and easily, it just means that there's a reason you're supposed to wait, right? And it's just not your time, and that's okay. That's okay. I like even today, that I kind of had that this week. It was so interesting. Um, so typically okay, not typically. So every week we go out to our little rescue farm and we stay Monday and Tuesday night and come back on Wednesday. My boyfriend's out there permanently and takes care of everything the 4 days we're not there. So I take advantage of that and I create the promos for our guest every week on Tuesdays. So I purposely moved us up a day and headed out there on Tuesday this week to close the gap, since we're not going to go back there until we're passing through on our way to Sedona on Thursday. So I was trying to close that gap a little bit of how long we're going to be apart from the farm. And so Tuesday night at 2, well, I guess it would be Wednesday morning at 2 a.m. My boy, we have two trailers that back up to each other, and at 2 a.m. the power to his trailer for some reason just went off completely, and he's still figuring it out. We were fine over on my side. So that because of that, we packed up and left the next day so that my boyfriend could move into my trailer, and it made it really easy. Like, we're going to work out whatever's going on in his and have an electrician come out. But in the meantime, we're so blessed and lucky, and I'm so grateful that we had the two, because you know it's just going to smell like boys next week when I go back in there, boy, and more dogs. But So because of that, my week was just different than usual, right? And so then we returned on Wednesday, and then yesterday I was like, "Oh my gosh, I didn't create the promo," and it was already Thursday, and so I created it yesterday morning, but then all these things kept coming up, and then this morning I'm like, "I made it, I have to post it," like, and I was like, "What is wrong with me?" That's what I was saying earlier, I felt kinda spacey, like, I've had a lot of stuff coming up, but it's not like I'm that busy. I've just been productive. So I went to post the promo this morning and our guest messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, but is the 22nd still available? Because it's not going to work out for me." I didn't know he was in Costa Rica yet. And I was like, "Yes." And that makes so much sense now. Like the universe was like, "No, no, 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 no. No, no, no. Like, don't do it. No pressure. Don't do it. Okay, we're just gonna wipe your mind for a few hours, and then when you remember, we're gonna wipe your mind again." It's so funny. So, like, it made so much sense once that happened this morning for me to realize why I never posted the promo, but I didn't know that at the time, right? And so a lot of times when you're prevented from doing something, it actually really works out in your favor because you need so, Emily, my point, after a long story, my point is something's going to happen today, and then something's going to happen in a month, and then something's going to happen in 6 months, and it's going to show you why not going was exactly what was supposed to happen. And your energy and your focus is supposed to be on something else right now, and so we end up blocking ourselves with these situations that we actually think are really cool and we want to be a part of, but sometimes holding on to the energy of I want to go to that retreat could have blocked you and blocked your flow from an opportunity that's coming up or something. So it's okay. It Cabo will still be there.
And don't be surprised if something cool happens during that time. And that's why you're here.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading all the okay. But yeah, we're everything always works out. And like I say on almost every episode, at any moment you can draw a circle around your feet because that's exactly where you're supposed to be. And I also would say that is the universe's way of telling you to don't don't stop seeking all the answers outside of yourself, that you are ready to answer a lot of the things that you are questioning on your own because you are stepping into your power, right?
Which is hard, by the way. It's hard. And, just when you feel you're doing it, something comes along and you're like, oh, wait, I got to reshift. And, you know, this could be a forced shift just
Yeah.
because, you either something else is coming along or this is a forced shift back to you and trusting yourself. So I think it'll be good.
Tiger Paw, are you going to come to the conference, or you wanted to go to the conference? Is that what you're referring to as for next weekend? And by conference, I mean Sedona. Up ramping of self healings. Yes. Yes. Um, hmm.
And self-exploration too. I mean, one of the things that I was just discussing earlier is off the top of your head and don't think of why is like what's something that makes you happy like right here right now. And it's one of those mind shift kind of things. So, it's we forget. We always worry about the past, we worry about the future. And to Kimberly's point, circle around your feet like you're here now. What's going on with you in the here now?
Hmm. Well, Tiger Paw, they do two conferences a year typically. I mean, that's been the rhythm for the last 3 years. Well, we went to Bastrop 3 years ago, and then they did two, one in Sedona and one in Texas last year. I couldn't go to the second one, and now they're doing this first one, Sedona, again. Um, 3 years ago, they were saying that they were going to take a break from it, and then Rion went to he like was he went to a few other conferences where he was part of it, and I think he just met so many people that couldn't resist planning his own again because all those people will now come to his, right? And whereas Shauna was like, "Oh my gosh, enough already." I think she's like back into it. So we haven't talked about a cruise for a while, but they've talked about a cruise, which would be so fun if we all got to go on a cruise and had the conference on that. Um, and they're in the cruise circuit, in the spiritual cruise circuit, in a sense, and also connected to the Conscious Life Expo in LA. And so they have feelers out into a bunch of different opportunities. Um, so I can genuinely say that every 6 months there's an opportunity to hang out with Team Light. So if you don't make next weekend, it's totally okay. Another one's coming. Nita, all right, I'm assuming you're asking me how are the birds. I'm staring at two of them. They're great. And my couple, I have another couple, and they laid an egg um, on the top of my armoire in a basket full of sacks that are typically what Santa leaves his gifts in for my son. I was like, okay. Um, but then I've noticed that they don't sit on it. Like they'll sit on it and then they'll kind of fly around. So it's today I was like, is that your practice egg? Yeah, okay, that's cool. But everybody's really good. Um, yeah. My chickens are almost ready to move. In about a month, they're gonna. I think they'll move in with our ducks. And my boyfriend is going to have a few extra cages of responsibility next week, but he's here for it. Like really good setups for them too, so it's not like my birds are compromised at all. Um, Divorce court May 11th. If y'all get a chip and leave me, I'm just saying.
If we get on a
A
ship
ship
and
and leave. Okay. Divorce court May 11th.
well, good luck with divorce court.
Yeah.
Like may the odds be ever in your favor and that everything goes your way. And I don't think we're going to be abducted onto a ship or get to go on one voluntarily. I would like to check it out, but I feel like my dogs would be super sad. I'd have to be like, I'm sorry, I can't go with you, aliens. I have 7 dogs and they need me.
Um, well, we might see some ships. I don't know if we're going to be able to, I really want to. And I'm sure Sheila would let us join anything that's already planned, but I don't know if we're going to make it. We might make it Thursday night. I don't know. Um, yeah, no,
Oh,
she probably.
Rebecca's birds are good too. Tui has been less possessive before, and Rebecca's been gone. She had to go do a thing. She was out of town, and John babysat, and they were really good for John. And Rebecca's back today, and I think they missed her a lot, but so far so good, Nita.
Oh, I keep getting 60-40 tiger paw. I don't know um if that means well in I'm getting that about your situation, and that could apply in so many different ways. So if that makes any sense to you, I'm getting 60-40, and it feels like it's in your favor. Like you're the 60.
That is
Uh,
awesome, Tiger Paw.
yeah, so hopefully, and I don't feel honestly, the feeling I'm getting is there's all this buildup toward the fact that it's happening, but the process of it is going to be quick and easy, and then all of a sudden you're going to be like, oh, that was it. Like, so maybe you've done so much work already emotionally and preparing yourself for it, then when the actual event happens, it's just this past, it's like an important thing that needed to mark time, but then it feels like you get back to you, like it is going to contribute to you feeling like you're finding out who you are now, you know. So I hope that's accurate. Yeah. But yeah, that 60-40 definitely feels like it's in your favor. Oh, man.
Even when you want to get a divorce, it's rough.
Yeah.
Even when it's agreed upon, it's rough. I've not personally experienced one, but I know so many who have. And even under the best of circumstances, it's a hard thing.
Yeah. Hey, John, Shannon doesn't get divorces. She just makes sure they're gone.
It's true.
Sorry, that's not funny. But yeah, okay, it's all about it. I got it. Remember Doctor Strange stuff is going on here. Oh, okay. Are you wearing the cape and the eye? My son has that necklace and it glows in the dark. We love Doctor Strange. Big fans over here. I know that you're using it as a reference and symbolism, but I like it. Ooh. Oh, of course. No, it's your personal business, but you know what? It's a moment in time.
It
It's the,
is.
it's just it's the 3D world. Yeah. Um, oh, 444 PST.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Would anyone like a specific question answered or reading about something? Please drop it in the chat. Oh, this is the third time. Okay. Well, you're welcome. It's dude, if you're not happy, if you're not in 100%, then good. It it doesn't mean anything, and it's nobody else's business, and titles and situations and whatever. It does not matter in the grand scheming of things. Oh, this is your third reading? Third
Oh,
reading
cool.
of what?
Oh, with us, I think.
Okay. Or third
Do you want
reading
to
for
do
the
you want to
divorce.
ask anything like do you want to ask anything? And you don't have to be specific. You can just give some sort of general thing and we can see what comes along.
My one dove has found their voice the loudest for the first time since I've had them, and it's happening like a foot from me. So I'm sorry. I can't even imagine what it sounds like coming through the speaker.
It's not super loud coming through the speaker. We can hear the
Okay.
coots and the noise, but it's not super loud.
They're literally sitting like this far. They're on the top of the computer. I look up and their eyes are closing, and then they'll wake up and start cooing to each other. It's so funny. Yeah, let's go, Tiger Paw. I get that. I do like that energy. I need to know who is Michael Jacksoning over there. Yeah, Aqua Baby. I have a brother and sister that were born in February, so it's Aqua Baby and Gold Child, and Aqua Baby is choosing this moment to find her voice, and which may be telling me that she's a boy, but that's okay. We are very gender fluid in this house, when it comes to doves, especially. How are your dogs doing, Shannon?
They're doing well. Kenji has had some challenges still eating, but he's been overall in a good mood. And everybody else is doing pretty good. I'm a little nervous about leaving them for so long, especially with his
Oh,
all that's going on with him. Everybody
yeah,
else is pretty easy.
yeah.
But the gentleman who's going to stay with them, who is their friend, is really great with dogs. And so, I know they're going to be in good hands. I just know that, he's a little bit of a handful now. And what's really cute, but maybe a little annoying, is Kenji absolutely loves my sister-in-law, Carolyn. like loves, always has. Like whenever she would come to visit, he would be sad, like when she left.
Oh.
And she lives here now in Texas. And so she had been, everybody's trying to coax him to eat, coax him to eat. Those of you who may not know, my dog was born with no gallbladder and without 2 lobes of his liver. So he has to eat a special diet. And Nita and Nikki, like we've been working on him energetically, and he's been doing very well. Nikki, I haven't tried the Pepcid for Kenji yet. We put in a call to Dr. Owens, and I got to remind John to follow up on that. But he really enjoys Carolyn feeding him one-on-one. So I think we've also reached a little bit of a part where he enjoys that one-on-one attention and like his special alone feeding time and stuff. And I think we've created a monster. We've sort of exacerbated his food issues because he thinks it's fun to get attention from his aunt. And so we're trying to, work through that. But he likes to go over and visit Carolyn, and he likes Carolyn to like feed him, like just him with no other dogs around. So we've reached the stage where I think he's enjoying the attention.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I mean, we're all good with it. I hope Carolyn doesn't get tired of it. But we're all good with it.
So how many people are staying at your house while you're gone?
It'll just be our friend Gio. He'll come today and take care of all the dogs and bring his dog, and yeah. And my sister-in-law is going on a trip with their other sibling, their brother and his family, and then we're all going to Sedona. So it'll be Gio, and then our one son who lives next door will be next door, and his friend who lives next door will be next door. And so that'll be good because they can help. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's still enough of like normalcy for the dogs. Like they're going to be aware something's different, but
yeah. Well, and Dexter loves it because Gio takes him to Home Depot, and he really enjoys going to Home Depot.
So cute. This is Nightingale. She was born with a bent ankle, and so she can't land and stand in the places that all the other birds can. And so she kept trying to come over here, so I just picked her up, and now we're doing this, and that's okay. She's hanging out. She's the one that laid the egg. Yeah. I say hi to everybody. I named her Nightingale because when I had button quail babies, she would she chills a lot. She wasn't flying as much. Now she flies more. But so she would just chill, and then all the babies would cuddle like around her, and it was the cutest thing ever. And so I was like, you're like a nightingale, like a nurse, a button quail nurse. And yeah, she loved it. And so that's how she got the name.
Have you all had any fun farm animal stories?
I'm sorry, you said you're asking our chat if they have any farms?
No, you from your place. Have you guys had anything interesting or exciting happening with animals since it's getting springy and closer to summer?
Yeah. Not really. I mean, I think I told you I woke up 2 weeks ago and we lost a matriarch duck and one of my baby quail out of the blue. They both passed on the same day, like within an hour of each other, and that was a little strange.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, but otherwise, no. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of mating going on.
That's what I was wondering. Is here everybody's getting frisky.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that adds to the ambiance of the farm, and it's loud because when one couple goes at it, everyone else seems to cheer them on or acknowledge it, especially the geese. And so the geese are super loud. Like, I don't even know how animals are wired so differently because they'll just do it wherever. And then everyone around them is just like screaming about it. And I'm like, how can you, I guess they don't need to concentrate.
No. Yeah.
Oh, M said, I got permission to work with a very scared dog today. That was neat and appreciated the trust. Aw, yeah, good. Oh, that's hard. Um, well, thank you, Emily, for doing what you do.
Yes.
Yeah, a bird G instead of an or. That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, we do have quite a few baby doves that are getting close to being ready to fly. So, and my turtles went back over to the farm because they sleep here for 6 months. It's nuts. They just sleep under my son's bed. That's usually what they choose. And so they're all happy. My boyfriend sets up the coolest, like, two kiddie pools and all these pieces of wood. So they have all these bridges to go up and sun themselves or go under. It's like a whole planned neighborhood, turtle neighborhood. Oh,
I like it.
Nikki's saying to Emily, I hope you can bring that baby out of their shell a little bit and show them that all humans are not bad. Yeah, well, Emily, you can do it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we've had a lot of abandoned animals. Like, I try not to look at the next door neighbor app because, well, they just annoy me mainly.
Yeah.
And
People,
it
humans.
does. Do you have a teenager that drives a Ford F-150? They're going too fast. It's all
Yeah.
this like, but there was a couple that posted about they saw this van and they saw this little brown dog and the van's driving off and the dog is chasing the van and so they felt like a dog had been dumped and they couldn't get the dog and so they were talking about that, but there was a couple of those recently and I don't know if it's just um, sort of spring and maybe people have unwanted puppies or something
Yeah.
like that. But we've seen a lot more of that around here. I mean, two in a town our size is like a lot.
Yeah. 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 No, well, and I think the smaller the town and the more rural of a town, like where my farm is,
Yeah.
people just let animals breed and have babies and they don't even contain them. So there's always notes. Like, I don't spend much time on Facebook, but I'm part of the groups out there because they're actually really good at updating like everything that's going on out there. And it's always about someone's dog is out, or there's this casino that's everybody knows about. It's right off the freeway and you can get your
Mm-hmm.
gas there and stuff. And they're always talking about the res dogs. Like, there's
Mm-hmm.
always reservation dogs. So, oh, it's rough. Like, people, come on, it's just a little bit more responsibility and we could fix a lot of problems. It's the laziness of it all.
Yeah.
Um,
And, growing up in the country, there was a lot of people would have animals and they would have a lot of outside animals and they would not fix their animals, even if there was like a free spay or neuter clinic that came through
yeah,
and things like that. And M just said, yeah, and unfortunately, we've had a lot of surrender because of finances lately. That's one of the great things that I just found out about. Um, there are a couple of food banks here that are also pet food banks. And because one of the most heartbreaking things is, especially a couple of older people on a fixed income love their dogs, take great care of their dogs or their cats or whatever. Like, these two particular were dogs. And they didn't know that there were resources where you could get pet food in local food banks. So I don't know, if there's any way, if it's specifically related to like affording food and stuff like that, if there's anything around that, because I know a lot of people are, oh, they have free food, people can get at the shelter too. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard, and I know here a lot of the food banks are having the pet food too.
I think I've also heard that, like, if people receive Meals on Wheels or, like, delivered food, that if they have a pet, they'll also bring dog food or pet food, I believe. So, like, maybe just everybody remember that, and the next time you hear
Yeah.
somebody mention that. Yeah. Oh, I know that we've like every year when we would get a tax return, we would go by a discount store and buy a bunch of dog toys and then take them over to like the Humane Society, and I would tell them, not that it mattered, but I'd tell them it's from my dog Ivy, and then my friends' dogs. Like I'd name off all these dogs that they were they were from.
Oh yeah, and Nita, that's so true. When it costs $300 to get a UTI fixed at the vet, it's hard. That is so true. And, that's the medical stuff.
Yeah.
Here we have it's an interesting thing. They have it's like a Goodwill, but it supports this local, low cost vet. Like people donate, they sell it, and the money goes to fund the vet piece.
Yeah.
But it's so hard, and especially like in the mountains where I'm from, there's literally one vet. He's maybe like 50 minutes away from the town that I grew up in, and he's not even a great vet. I'll just say that. He probably doesn't know that I'm on here, so I feel good in that. But, there's just people just don't have a whole lot of options.
Yeah.
And that's a really tough one. I have found a lot of sites where they can tell you, oh, here's what's going on with your dog. But if you can't get the prescription, it's not as helpful.
Yeah. Well, there's a service called Hands Across America, which I'm going to say, just because of the title, it is where there's donated food all over the United States. And they do, I think the last stop is close to my farm. And so one of my neighbors, when she said, "Oh, I didn't know you had pigs and goats. We received all this produce, and sometimes it goes bad, or sometimes it's not what we eat. So I'm just going to start bringing it to you, and so our goats and pigs are very happy because of that. And if it's lettuce, or ducks are really happy, because I'm a big like no waste, right? But every other week, there's also something else called Hands Across America, because it's two different. Okay, that's the one I can remember. I don't know the name of the other one, for the produce, and it's like local. It's organic, local farms. It's amazing. And she'll often, and now that she knows that I also live downtown half the week, she'll bring me food that's been donated that they don't want, like cans, and I mean, sometimes it's pasta, it's packaged stuff. And so I'll bring it downtown and I'll leave it outside where we have our homeless population, and I'll leave it out. So I always make sure it goes, to whomever. But because that's available, it just made me think of, I shared a recipe with Shannon, but you can make dog food very affordably, and it's actually really, really good for them. And you can just make it once a week. It's beans. The quinoa would be the most expensive item in there, so you don't have to do the quinoa, but it's beans, vegetables, quinoa. What else is it?
Rice.
And rice, brown rice. And you could just put it in a crock pot and cook it all and make this huge batch of it. And then it has enough protein in there for the animals. And that recipe came, Ellie from the Gentle Barn gave me that recipe, but it came from a veterinarian. And so I used to do a bunch of different varieties of like whatever the beans were. I would get a really big bag of frozen vegetables from Costco, because then I always had it. And my dogs loved it. They ate less, and it was like their coats were really healthy. And so people like rice, vegetables, even from the dollar store, and beans. That's very inexpensive. And so but people don't realize that would be okay for a while, and so we can share that information with people that are going through something.
Oh yeah, and I threw some turmeric in it.
Yeah.
And some different things in there. It's very easy to add, if you've got a dog that's arthritic, or, like us with all the inflammation around Kenji's liver. I added that in, and it did very well.
You can also bulk up their food with it. So like do a cup or a cup and a half of what you made, and then sprinkle half a cup of their kibble on there, and now you're spacing out the cost of dog food, which isn't cheap. But yeah, So if anybody ever needs that recipe, I can give you a better version of it. Just message me on Instagram or
Yeah, and they
Queen
all
Source.
love it.
Hmm.
Like everybody loves it. I mean, picky is hard, but everybody else loves it.
Yeah, yeah, and you can use. There were times when I would. It's easy to make, but you can buy low salt, low sodium vegetable stock. Like the dollar stores have all that stuff now, and as long as it's not full of chemicals, you can throw things in there. Because my dog is spoiled, man. She is so not interested in her really good food that I buy her unless I. She likes tofu, so I'll drop tofu on there sometimes. There's a tail. Um, and then she likes to cook and raw. I thought that was very odd. I didn't know that. And then you told me they like yogurt. I have
Mhm.
coconut yogurt here, but she likes that too. So yeah, dogs spoiled. Yeah. So yeah, Emily, if you ever need me to be more specific about the action, like the items, I can respond to you in a message. All right. So does anyone have something that they would anyone like a reading? I'll just keep repeating it. Um, like, does anybody have something they've been pondering or changes they want to make in their life, or what what are it's readings are usually love, money, or what's my purpose, and jobs, and we're here for all of it. Oh, now it's 5:05. Every time I look at actually, for some reason, think to look at my clock, it's telling me a good synchronistic number. But today's May
Like,
1st. And then,
uh, you just reminded me on the first of the month, blow
yes,
some cinnamon on your front door for abundance and passion and love and joy and health.
I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to actually put it in my calendar to do a reminder. So you stand in the doorway and blow it out, or you
Blow it
stand
into
out
your house.
and blow it in? Okay, you
Yeah,
blow it.
you're putting it into your home.
Okay. Yes. Yes, we all, especially now. Like basically, if you truly, truly believe and um, trust yourself and trust your intuition, you can literally make anything happen right now. Like all the stars are just like, give me something to do to make you happy. And the universe has one job, it listens to you. So if you truly believe in yourself and trust your, like it will happen. It will absolutely happen. And you will find the energy or the money or the whatever is needed to make that happen. It will fall into place. You just have to start the ball rolling. But that's where we're at right now in the world, in the universe. Yeah. All right. Well, if nobody else has any questions or nobody wants a reading, I don't know. Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about, Shannon? That you wanted to bring
No, I mean, I'm just happy it's the weekend and I don't have to do work stuff tomorrow. And
up?
then I will tell you all in my journeys this week, um, I am going to become I'm going to focus on being more intentional with time and that sort of thing. Uh, Dealing with stuff that makes me happy. And just to ponder for a moment on that for a minute, there's stuff that brings you joy, there's stuff that makes you happy. And I found myself falling back into the like feeling guilty for doing stuff like just for me. So I'm working on that. And I think it's a good time with what Kimberly just said about literally the stars are aligned. Like,
Hmm.
it's a good time to think about what brings you joy, what makes you happy, and taking that in without feeling like you have to work hard or meet other people's expectations. And I felt like I was in a pretty good place with that. And I realized that no, I've got to focus on that and, focus on the fun part instead of like the other stuff.
Yes. And it's so easy to come up with excuses. Like I was
Yeah.
talking to a good friend yesterday and he was worried about he's really unhappy at his job. He was planning on staying for 6 more months because there's like a financial goal. And then he reduced it down to like a month more because he's just the people are great, the job sucks. And but he was worried and he kept saying, I feel so guilty because I have made things a lot better for my staff. And so when I step out, they don't have the luxury of leaving. Like a lot of them are older and they wouldn't be able to laterally move somewhere else and match their wage. The only reason they have that wage is because they've been there for so long. And I was like, hold on, hold on. It's very kind, of you. And that's important to do those check-ins all the time. But here's the thing. We have to take care of ourselves. And that doesn't come from ego. Yes, it's beautiful when your existence makes things better for other people, but it's not our responsibility to choose other people to feel. It's not our responsibility to actually be guilty. Okay, hold on. To actually be guilty and endure suffering because we're worried about other adults. Other adults will do two things. They'll take your cue and actually get themselves out of a situation where they're unhappy. They'll figure it out on their own because that's their journey. Or two, they'll be okay because that their journey and your journey are completely different. And because I felt that in the beginning when I was really pulling back from my bakery, and everybody's fine. Like our ego protects us, and so as soon as you try to make a change out of a situation where you're not aligned, and you could be great on a Monday, and on Tuesday all of a sudden you're like, this doesn't align for me anymore, and that is a real thing, and that's okay, and it's just you wake up with way more self-awareness that day. And so leaving a place, whether it's a relationship, a job, a house, whatever it is, family, friendship, whatever it is, leaving something that has been part of your life for so long, it brings up all these emotions like guilt,
Mhm.
shame, fear. um are you being selfish? No, none of that. It just means that you are paying attention to your intuition. Yes, like John says, you have to put your oxygen mask on before you can help others. Yeah,
He does a good job of trying to remind me of that.
yeah. Ah, no, you know what? He's just gonna have to wait a second. Hold on.
That really could be saving you from something that really wasn't set up properly. She's saying finding out the accommodations weren't what we were told from the start a month before made things feel shady. I think that's a very legitimate feeling. Hey, Kara. Oh, a general reading for the next 6 months, Nita says.
Okay, I might have to set some keys outside my door in a second. I'm gonna find
Yeah.
out. I Oh, here. Yes, Nita. We're gonna tap in just a second here. Okay, but here's a good thing to when you trust and believe in yourself and you're excited and you're chasing your joy, your excitement, your passion, which is Shannon and I are going to this conference next week. We're super excited. I was the manager in my building for 6 years, and then my property manager's son moved in and took over because I guess I was only supposed to have the job for a year. I didn't know it was an annual job. But so she's like, yeah, we have to pick somebody else. So we picked him because he's great. Well, he just moved out, and there's like a week in between when the new manager is going to take over because I do not want the job. So she's like, hey, do you want to hold the keys for a week and make like $150? And I said, yeah, but I'm like, aren't you staying in your son's unit now that he's moved out for a week? And she's like, yeah. And I said, well, why don't you make the money? She's like, well, it doesn't work like that. Like they would just tell me to do the extra work, you know. But she's like, but if you do it, you can make money. And I'm like, dude, like I couldn't pick a better time to. Yes, yes, I will totally do it because it's not going to require very much, and she's in the building. But like the universe is like, hey, by the way, you're going to have a great time and here's a little spending money to support you. You know, like just that's probably that's half the gas anyway from driving there and back. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna set the keys out. Shannon, if you want to tap in
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Nita, I am so sorry to walk away from you by yourself for just a moment, but okay, you two,
Oh, you're fine.
yeah, you two do a
So
reading for Nita.
first, I'm going to introduce you all to Baby because I don't think Baby has ever like gotten up in my lap because he never wants to cuddle. But I'll introduce you all to Baby. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see his little face, but Baby is very interesting. Baby is, well, he sees dead people, and he is a very sensitive dog. Believe it or not, this is a Chihuahua. This is the only Chihuahua that I have that has papers, which I don't think that's, anything, but we bought him from a breeder, but he has Cushing's. And so he's a little bit chunky for a Chihuahua. And I think it's very interesting. We decided to have this reading, and Baby gets up here. I bought him for my mom. She had a Chihuahua named Coco who passed, and she was coming to both of my sons graduated college in 2022, so she was coming for their graduation. And my friend Rebecca with the birds and I went and picked up Baby at like the strangest lady's house in a little town called St. Hedwig, like the owl from Harry Potter here in Texas. And Baby is very interesting, and Baby is very attuned to seeing things that aren't here. And he never gets up in my lap, so I wanted him to say hi.
Aww.
And so now we'll see. And you know what's interesting, Nita? Like over the next 6 months, one of the things, and this is not based on anything woo-woo, metaphysical, or anything other than like just a lot of people that I've been meeting with, unrelated to these topics. I think we're going to continue to see like the whole people expanding. When I was in Idaho, I had dinner with a friend of mine that I've worked with for, gosh, I guess 10, maybe close to 11 years. And we had the absolute best time. We were, talking about everything. And we spent a great deal of time talking about nuclear power. And we were discussing the fact that I think in the next 6 months, we're going to see more nuclear power coming up as an option in a lot of places. And we discussed that, that has a lot of environmental benefits. I was unaware that the first nuclear power in the United States was actually made in Idaho. When they were testing like weaponry, nuclear stuff, Idaho powered the first light bulb. They used nuclear power to like power the first light bulb. And so when I was up there, they were talking about this sort of resurgence in a much cleaner form of energy. Now, trust me, I know nuclear power has all these other connotations and Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island and all that. But I thought that was very interesting that we're starting to kind of return to thinking about longer term things, especially in light of everything that's gone on. And we were discussing the fact that there's a lot of availability of cheaper power for people and, lower cost for families. So that was just a weird future thing that's come up. And when we were having this conversation about power, then we got onto the topic of Jesus. And, you don't usually go to work dinners with people and talk all about Jesus and Jesus showing up in different places and, you know, different concepts. So we went into this very esoteric conversation, and we were talking about other cultures and spirituality and, you know, all these things that are sort of coming about. But basically, the whole everybody collectively realizing that there's a whole lot more than the 3D world and this continued awakening. And I can't say the names associated with this, but these are like not people you would think would be having this conversation. These are like hardcore business people, people who are not, you know, talking about woo woo stuff. And so I came out magically, basically, I guess is what you would say, cosmically, magically. And I was like, hey, I do this live on Friday. This is what we talk about. And it was a totally different reception than I would have ever expected. And, you know, I've known this person forever, but like never in that sort of capacity. More along the lines of like, hey, what's going on in the stock market? What's going on in, you know, the business world? And I think that is something that really clued me in when I was there. I went back to the hotel and I called John to tell him about it. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, we were talking about all this stuff, and he's like, I think that's good. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it was really good. But I think like we've all been talking about it. The acceleration, dude, the acceleration from that conversation was so undeniably real. Like crazy undeniably real.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's cool. Maybe because you brought up something personal and it made everybody feel more comfortable being more personal. Like you, that's cool, Shannon.
Yeah, it was really cool. And I mean, this guy is a great guy. And like I said, we've been friends for a long time. He and his wife are lovely humans, his whole family. And it was just very interesting. And Kimberly, you actually came up in our conversation. His son is in San Diego this summer for an internship
Hmm.
with a company that builds drones,
Okay.
Atomics or something. I can't think of the name. But
Yeah.
I was like, and he has a sweet tooth. And I was like, oh, I know a person.
Yeah.
I can hook you up with cakes and cupcakes and, you know.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
yeah, I'm gonna take information with the parents so they can treat their son a little bit while he's there doing this internship. He's in college and he'll be in
Yeah.
San Diego for the summer. So that was another thing. I was like, oh, that's such a weird synchronicity. The lady that I do the lives with, my friend Kimberly, that's where she lives.
Yeah. And I can certainly at least give him some insight and information for San Diego too. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, it
Yeah.
always amazes me how so is when you actually get on a good thread of a conversation, how all these synchronicities happen. You know?
It is. It is. And so, you know, one thing, and like I said, it's not based in like me tapping in now, but it happened Wednesday night. I
Yeah.
do feel like we're going to continue to accelerate this awareness.
You know, now that you're saying that, yesterday I went to this coffee shop that they I feel like maybe they opened a year ago, and it's just not on my typical path. Like my dog is very stubborn and likes to only go in one direction and on one path. And it moves blocks and stuff, but she has the pattern that she doesn't like to go off of, and I honor her. It's fine. I don't care. But so yesterday I was like, I'm going to go try this coffee shop. Like I'll take her for a walk and then I'm going to go by myself because I wanted to edit and I know myself. Get out of your house, go somewhere else and just focus on the one task and you'll get it done. So I went to this cool coffee shop called Goldchild, which is funny. My Dove's name is Goldchild. And this is a trip to me. Okay. Every single day I wear a Team Light hat because I wasn't always a hat person, but anytime I'm out during the day and in the sun, I wear a hat, you know, and it's also just makes things easy. So I always wear this hat, and it's very rare that anyone asks me, like sometimes people will say, oh, I like your hat, or Team Light, that's cool, you know, but they don't typically ask me like what it means. And for anyone that doesn't know, I think everybody here knows, but it's the name of our friends. And and the conference that we're about to help host. It's our group. So while I was standing there, two people actually asked me specifically, "Oh, what is Team Light?" And I was, I'm just like, and so the first person I answered, and I said, "Oh, well, I'm friends with people who host conferences in Sedona," and I just left it at that. And then like 10 minutes later, somebody again asked me exactly like that, "What is Team Light?" And so I mean, there's way more that I could have explained, but I thought, you know what? I'll say that, and a bunch of things will come from that. If somebody knows what Sedona is, and they would know that it's an enlightened area where people, it's a conscious place, whatever. Because it's not that I'm not willing to talk about this, but I'm not going to just be like, oh, we talk to aliens and, do you know what a star seed is? And like, I'm not going to go into all that, but that could be in the conversation that it opens up. But like you're saying, what I have found is when you introduce something, because it naturally comes up in conversation, you realize that everybody wants to talk about this stuff, but they very often just don't know how or have anybody to talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that opportunities come up to open up a dialogue so that it's in a natural way where it just it can turn into a discussion that everybody's comfortable having, right?
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
it is. And M sharing a story that was her synchronicity. She was doing Tai Chi with a lady named Roberta who said, "Does your dad know this person?" and said a name. And so she went home and asked about it just to see. And sure enough, that was one of the dad's closest friends. And it was one of this lady's closest friends. She said her dad like basically went ashen when she asked the name.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. Like, what are the odds? So
Yeah.
clearly, you ran into Roberta for a reason.
Oh, it's one of your dad's best friends?
Mm-hmm. Like they had a friend in common. Roberta said, "Oh,
Oh,
do you know Skip Willis? Does your
yeah.
dad know Skip Willis?" She's like, "I don't know." And then
Yeah.
she asked the dad, and turns
That's
out,
cool.
yeah, very,
And
very good friend.
you were the go-between for the synchronicity. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Sherry just said your brother and his family just moved to Idlewild, and he works in San Diego. Well, Idlewild is a um, a wild and like not wild. It's a town that most people visit, but quite a few people do live there. So, but it's like I think it's at a high altitude and it's in a very forest-like setting. It's a cute little hidden town. Um, but it's a few hours. So do they actually travel back and forth? Like they live in Idlewild and then that's a lot of driving if that's the case. But if anyone ever needs their family or friends advised or welcomed in San Diego or Bernie, Texas, let us know. San Diego's huge. Shannon would have more influence.
Bernie's little. It's not huge.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, if you know anybody that's getting married, I could actually help with that part. But okay, so no joke. So Sherry's saying I got an Uber ride last month from a lady. We got to talking 30 minutes later at the end of the ride. Turns out she recognized Rion when I showed her the YouTube channel. Oh, that's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, that was I met Rion and Shauna in a very synchronistic way. I was attending a retreat in 2022, and part of the retreat, she took us to Shauna's mom, Sheila. She utilized the UFO viewing tour, and that was part of it. So we're there, and I was totally talking to Shauna all night. The one thing I remember is it's dark where you are and you're looking through night viewing goggles, and it's intentional. They don't, except for like maybe a flashlight every once in a while, there's not any lights in your immediate area so that you have a good view of the sky. So you don't, like, you could see people, but you're not going to see a lot of detail. The one thing I remember is when I finally saw Shauna, I was like, wow, she's really pretty. Like, I remember thinking that. And then at the end of the tour, at the end of the hour and a half, Sheila gives the greatest conversation throughout the whole thing, as she shares cool stories and then like current events. So at the end, she was showing a photo album, in case anybody wanted to see pictures of a topic she was talking about. And before we went over to look at the pictures, she had said, does anybody have any questions? And I had like a shitload of questions, but I didn't want to hold the group because it was kind of chilly. I was prepared for it. I love the cold and I love the night. I could have sat out there for hours, but I wasn't going to do that to everybody else. So I held on to my question. And after she was showing us pictures, I asked her the question. So we ended up having this like really cool conversation. And then she said, my daughter's dating someone who makes orgonite pyramids and sells them online. And I turned to her and I was like, do you mean Rion, like Team Light? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, that's crazy, because 6 months prior had just had a session with Rion. That's right. So in like May or June of 2022, my son and I took an amazing road trip, and the first stop was Sedona, and I met with Rion the next day as we headed out. And we had been in contact a little bit through email. And so here it is now, November, and I'm at this retreat, and I meet Shauna without knowing that I met her and her mom. So then a few months later, Case and I had just made our first goofy video about contacting the Galactic Federation. And then when I was like, dude, we have to make another one. Like, look, read all your comments. So then I reached out to everybody, and then everybody, Tyel and Case and Sage and everybody, we all made another video, and then became like super, super tight and friendly. And then I told Sean, and then I put everything together, and I was like, you and I have already met. We just didn't know that it was going to be like, now we're really good friends. It was very cool. Like, I love when you can watch how things align, and then but it was just this natural, graceful direction of having these positive experiences together, because I'd already had this amazing in-person session with Rion, and which I ended up hanging out at their house for like 2.5 hours, because we just totally got along immediately. It was like family. And then I had this really cool experience with Shauna and her mom, and then a few months later we're like, oh, I love you. Like, we're friends, but it wasn't, I don't know. You guys get it. I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, so it's, dude, when things are meant to be, they will totally show up and make you aware that, hey, that felt good, right? You want more of that, right? We're going to give you more. It's cool.
Yeah. And let's think about the whole, like, the next 6 months. I think we're going to see a big focus on power, like I said, and I don't think that's anything mystical. That's just me talking about power and like plans that are in play regarding like relooking at energy. But I'm seeing a lot of travel. Like, I think people, and not like great big huge trips, but I think people are going to be out more. And I think that we're going to see more like groups of people getting to know each other. Like, everybody has like their friend groups. You have like your work friends, you have like your not work friends, and like, I don't know about you guys, but I think we're going to see more of that collapsing into like one cohesive group of people.
That's cool.
Yeah, like I've been seeing that a lot, and I've been having that like experience a lot.
So that you must be a connector. Like, you're good at networking your friends together.
I do, and I don't really like, I don't think of myself that way, but I've noticed like it's been happening more. I mean, just like I know Nikki from somewhere else, I know Nita from somewhere else, I know Sean from somewhere else, and like we're all kind of connecting here, and I think there's some other big chunks of people to connect in. John Knapp, some different people that we've connected, and then, we've met some really lovely people this year. And I
Yes.
think that, we're just going to continue introducing people within this group to each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Like last week, she wanted to join us in Sedona, and the only reason she couldn't is she couldn't move a medical appointment. So she's like, "Let me know when you're going next time." That was really cool.
Yeah.
Emily, I highly recommend you booking a session with Sage. I had 4 sessions with her before we became really good friends, and that took a while too. It was just, I don't even know how we ended up like really becoming friends, but man, her sessions with Sage are amazing. That's how Shannon and I know each other.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is. And I had one with Sage today.
Oh, that's right. You're going to tell me
Yeah,
after.
I did. And it was really cool. We can talk about it now. I've been on this like weird return to guilt thing, like guilt over the sun shining and the grass not growing fast, and like weird guilt shit. And it was very helpful.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I know I need to let go of some stuff. And even though I'm doing it, I feel bad about it. And so, it was very good to get a different perspective. I think she's very good at reframing things, and it really helps me get out of that, like, stuck inside my head about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Well, and that's because she's an incredible mirror as well, and
Yeah.
so we get really good advice when we're ready to listen, and also from people that we can trust and that are peers. But yeah, like you said, like reframing things. Yeah. It's so important. And there's different people for different topics that come up, and Sage and I are both Aquarians, so she's going to be gentle and kind, but so direct and honest. And that's what you need when it's really time to make changes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we send the most random crazy voice notes. Almost our entire relationship is voice notes. And it's just what works for us. So funny.
Yeah, I like her. And I met Sage through my sister-in-law, Miranda, who's going to be in Sedona with us.
And that's how I met you.
Yeah, it was through Miranda.
I don't know what's happening with me right now.
So I think we're just going to have a whole bunch more connecting. The other thing, like I said, I think people are going to start doing a little bit more short travel. And it doesn't have to be anything major, but I can tell you, like, my energy and people, and these are people that don't like to people very much. But people are wanting to get out a little bit more and spend time out in parks, hiking, doing a whole lot of like outside sort of stuff. And like I said, not travel even super far, but I think like the world as a whole, like everybody wants a little bit heavier connection, and not to crappy people, like not to anybody you don't want to be connected to, but like with your own circle. And I feel like, and Air Live and you guys, like, we're connecting in a way that I think we all thought that we've talked about this. Kimberly's talked about this, that we would use the internet for. I got to let my Sheba in or she's going to tear my door off. But I think we're seeing that. And I think we're seeing people come together outside of traditional areas, and it's fun.
Yes. So when Shannon was referring to the not electricity, the nuclear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I kept getting fault line. And I was like, why am I getting fault line? Like, that's earthquakes. Maybe it was a reference to grid work, though, because the faults are often connected to why is this gone? Ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
So when you were talking about that, I kept getting the word fault line. And then every time you mention traveling and people finding each other, I keep getting the word exodus. So
Mhm.
what's the definition of exodus from a biblical standpoint?
So the book of Exodus is about the Jewish people and their journey. And if you take the whole,
Okay, the mass
like
exodus.
who they
Yeah.
were, but it's like the mass exodus, it's the movement. And I think that, you're going to see people just in general from an exodus standpoint,
Getting away from what
you're
is
getting
serving.
away from
Okay.
what doesn't serve you,
Okay.
and you're also with your tribe. Israel
Yeah.
is a tribe, and they refer to themselves as the tribe of Israel. Fun fact, I worked for a Jewish family for a number of years, so I have an odd knowledge of Judaism.
Yeah.
So, and they call themselves, they're the tribes of Israel, and they call themselves, they speak to them, to their people as a tribe. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's really what we're doing. Like, we're finding our tribe. The tribe is like collapsing all of the structures around, like, oh, you're a work friend versus a friend from
Oh,
school
okay.
versus so all that's forming this tribe. And I
Yes.
think that, we're going to physically move some more and meet each other in person and do some things. But I also think that, like, metaphysically, we're going to move away from things and structures that no longer serve us. And as people become more awake, you see through shit. And
Well,
I think that's good for people.
yeah.
We're
And I
way more alike than we are different. And as long as we let them tell us we're different and we're separate and we're not the same, that's how they keep us from uniting and moving forward.
well, that's why these Friday Night Lives feel so good, and I'm including everyone in the chat as our tribe because it's such a relief to be around like-minded people. There's a lot less explaining and just a lot more understanding. And also it has that feeling of like you belong, but not in a way where someone's going to answer all your questions and tell you how to live and make your choices for you. And it's not a cult, it's not like we're not asking anyone to worship us ever. Um, it is an equality of everyone who's been on these very independent journeys because it's so rare that I ever meet anyone that isn't completely alone in this where they're at. Like we all find each other here, but there's a million people in San Diego. I don't know anybody else like me. Not, and I have like especially in the beginning, I was like, does anybody else do light language? Of course, there's people here. Of course there are, but I didn't find them, and I wasn't after an initial search just to see if there's anything around me. I was like, I don't care because
Mhm.
I have created such an amazing group network of people that I love so much that I'm going to put my energy there, and it keeps expanding.
Mhm.
We are going to meet some really cool people next week. I'm going to invite everyone that we vibe with to come do a live with us in the future, and I don't know if anyone has if you all have any specific questions for Journey to Truth. Tyler's going to be there. Lily Nova, Ishmael Perez, Emery Smith. I don't remember the guy. Bill, the man that has the crystal, one of the actual real crystal skulls. Well, then there's a plethora of people, and I don't mean to not include anybody, but
And Bill has a cool wife. Y'all
yeah.
remember a Blast from the Past for those who are like in
Oh
our
yeah,
age? Yeah, Bill's wife wrote Romancing the Stone and also a bunch of Chicken Soup for the Soul books.
isn't that cute?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Shauna just told us that, and Shannon, you're going to come with me on Sunday to set that up, okay?
I'm down. I
Okay.
want to meet the Crystal Skull Man and his cool wife.
Yeah. I was so quiet. We had a meeting a few days ago with Shauna with the two other volunteers, and she was talking about Sunday, and I wasn't saying anything because that's like an hour before, and she's like, "And Kimberly, can you be the one?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll get up at 7 on Sunday." Okay,
I
that's
know.
it's okay. It's totally okay because when you're somewhere where you want to be and you're excited, like you don't sleep a whole lot anyway. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah.
Elisa, congrats on your move.
Oh, okay. I need to put my glasses back on.
Astro Elisa is moving, being called to a certain place.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Lisa and I just talked for like 2 hours last week or this week. I don't even know. What day is it? Friday? Yeah, this week. Nope, last week. Um, okay, cool. So you figured it out. That's awesome. Yay. Yay. What, Emily, what? The way you said that was kind of hot.
I like it.
Which part? That's funny. Um, yeah, so yeah, congratulations, Lisa. I'm glad that you figured out what you where you want to drop in and start your next adventure. Um, Nita, did you want personal information or were you asking us to talk about what's happening over the next 6 months in the world?
Nita's going to keep getting hit with alien stuff, much to her dismay.
um, is she have you read for her alien wise? I just got
No,
Palladian immediately.
she totally Pleiadian.
Yeah.
she Nita, it's come up in Nita's world several times, and she's more of like fairy earth realm, and ET stuff is intimidating. And I mean, I don't know what I would ever do if I like popped into one, in person. And I'm just teasing her because she's always like, alien stuff, that's not me. But it keeps coming up for her. So I'm teasing Nita, but it'll keep coming up for her, I think.
Well, we just have to change the lens we see it through because alien stuff just means us at our highest version. That's all it is. Us back in more of our galactic form outside of time and space and not in the 3D. That's literally all it is. Yeah, and Nita has some very strong healing abilities. Where do you think those are coming from?
And she's so talented.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you, like, we will do our animal energy thing and Nita leads us through what to work with. And like almost immediately my picky dog will eat something and he will,
Yeah.
So I mean, Nita is fantastic.
You're an activator for animals, which is rad. Okay, ladies, Lisa, Sherry, do you see anything about me? I don't have any specific questions. Oh yeah, Lisa. Well, that's all we're probably going to talk about after the show. After the conference. I think Victoria is going to be on with us the Friday after the conference. And okay. Lisa, you must have gotten one of the jobs that you really were hoping for. I hope it's like your top pick out of the 4. I think you had 4 that you were looking at. And then Sherry.
Here.
Did you get anything right away, Shannon?
I did. Sherry's another one. Like, Sherry, are you going somewhere again? Are you going back to where your family was again for another visit? Or are you planning any trips to like the Pacific Northwest?
I got a river.
Yeah, that's like I keep seeing this foresty with tall trees. Not like Texas where we have wee little trees.
I can see, maybe it's because the way you said the Pacific Northwest, but it's like I got this aerial view of forest line, like a road that splits a forest, and then I got the word river and there was a focus on the river.
Ah, there you go. Are you going to Northern California, Sherry? Like what part? Oh, to see your brother.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Idlewild, it's pretty. It's hot in the summer though. Are you going in the you going in the summer?
I couldn't do the elevation. She said it was like 9,000 feet.
Yeah.
I'd be like stuck in my inhaler all day. Altitude is not my friend.
If you like to hike, it's great. It's very we went once and I would do it very differently if I went back. We did not have a good time, but it's not Idlewild's fault. It was not understanding what I was planning and picking the wrong place to stay. But it's very beautiful there. And it's this tiny little town up in the mountains. It it was way more touristy than I expected. Um, so just be prepared for that. Like there was we found a great vegan restaurant that surprised me. And it's very like mom and pop little grocery store. That kind of stuff I like. But I'm just tired of every time I go somewhere, you're just flooded with shops full of stuff that you don't need and tourism and capitalism when you're going for the
Trying to
nature.
get away. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying
So
to
that
escape.
yeah, but I don't no shame or I'm not being negative about Idlewild itself. I just knowing what I know now, I would plan my trip so differently. But if you're going there to see your family that's living there, they're going to know everything that I didn't. Like you're going to have a good time, you know?
Oh, nephew's first birthday.
That's cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah. It was so hot. It was very cool though. When I looked out my window at the trees, I saw a raccoon just like right there, like he was totally chilling in the tree looking at me. That was cute. Um,
Who are you going to go with, Sherry? Is it just you or are you going to go with somebody else? Because I see you with a traveling companion or somebody else there besides your brother's family.
I keep getting water. Like maybe you all are going to take a canoe tour or rent rafts or maybe he lives on the water. Like I keep like you're having fun, but it definitely involves a river or a body of water is like that just keeps coming up. And then Lisa, good for you. Just do it. Just do it and you're following you're following your intuition. So a job is going to open up or they're going to get back to you or somebody was hired and they're not going to work out. Like you're going to land and it's just all going to support you.
Oh, she has a question. Oh, Sherry, that's awesome. It's your mom. I saw somebody with you, and I think that
Mhm.
that's going to be a fun thing. I also keep seeing the color red, and I don't know why, but around your travels, there's I don't know what the red means, but I'm like, Kim, I see you doing outdoorsy stuff, but I also see the color red coming up. I don't know if that means anything to you. Um,
I think there's going to be dates that like I think you're going to fool around with dates. Like you said,
okay.
it might be your nephew's birthday, but then it might yeah, it feels like you're gonna make a decision, "Oh, okay, I'll go this date," and then you're gonna find out that there's no flights or some deal that you're gonna take advantage isn't on that date. That's actually what it feels like. Like, you might hone in on something that, like, Monday through Thursday, it's cheaper, and that yeah, it might be something like that. Um,
Besides your hair, yeah. I don't know. I keep seeing the color red. You'll just have to let us know what it means. And it could be life preservers. You know how, like, when you're doing something water, they give you like the life
yeah,
jackets? I wonder if it's like red. If you end
I'm
up
getting
and it's
blocked
like,
I'm getting blocked out dates, so be
yeah.
open yeah, be open when you're planning some stuff, although this is probably more in the flow state up there, but yeah.
Oh,
Huh.
cool.
Because I'm seeing the when you say red, I'm seeing like a see-through version of red, and I keep seeing like calendar dates and like a schedule and times and stuff.
as my husband just walked out of the closet, and I was like, I keep seeing red, and he came in and he goes like this because he's got a red flannel shirt on now. But that's not it. It's about you, Sherry, not him.
Oh, her
And
sister-in-law's
then,
favorite color is red.
oh, I like that. And then Astro Elisa had a question.
Yes, yeah. That's what we're here for. Hey, I need hold on. Lisa, ask your question so that Shannon can start answering because I need to
Yeah,
excuse myself for a potty break real quick, but I can wait. Um, Nita said that we're funny all of a sudden. Just finally. Maybe she's finally just um, tapping into our goofiness. Okay, so Lisa said, thanks, Kimberly. I feel it. The only thing is that I'm trying to buy a used car and I'm having a hard time finding a good one. Do either of you see this happening for me?
I think you get it where you're going. Like when you put that in there and I read through it, my first thing is I think you're going to end up buying a car wherever it is you're going. Do you have a different way to travel there? Like, and it may be easier if you don't do it until you get there based on what all you're taking or how that's going to work. Are you moving to, I mean, if you don't have to say if you don't want to, but are you moving to a place that's more rural than where you live now? Astro Lisa, you can't get there without the car. Are you going to someplace more rural than where you are now? Is it like far, far away or is it like not super far away? Because, okay, Florida to Sedona. And where do you live in Florida? Are you close to like Orlando? So I don't know where you're at in Florida, but a couple of things just out of the blue. My really good friend that Nikki and I used to work with, she loved to buy used cars in Florida specifically. And what she did was, and Nikki, you might have to put it in the chat. There's like when people pass away, there's like an auction house, like an online auction house that sometimes sells cars too. Everything but the house. Nikki turned me on to everything but the house. But in Florida, one of the things you might want to look for, oh, sorry, it's no problem. I have delays and freezes too. But one of the things you may want to look for is one of these auction places. And I know that's a little different. And I don't know if you know anybody who knows about cars, at least to be able to check it out for you. But our friend Melody bought a Saab convertible. Like we all lived in Kentucky at the time, and she went to Florida to buy it because there were people that were Ocala. There were people who were able to sell it super cheap because it was part of like an estate sale. And I know this sounds really weird, and John and you will know this. Like Ocala is kind of close to some of those neighborhoods where the olds live. Like we passed through that when we come up. We drove. I say we. I didn't do anything. John did. We went from Fort Lauderdale to Texas a couple times. I guess 4 times. John has. I just go along for the ride. I don't actually contribute to the driving very much, but it may be good. Your neighbor's a mechanic and he's helping you. That's excellent. I would look at some of these auction houses because lots of times families don't know what to do. Families are in other places and their loved ones will pass and they'll auction off their cars. And eBay used to have, and I don't ever get on eBay, but eBay used to have a car place, like a car section. And I know Melody has used that before.
My boyfriend got a car that way a few years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
I
can
bought a
find
car
some
at an
stuff.
auction.
Yeah,
Yeah, a long time ago. A truck. It was a police auction.
I didn't
And
want to say the villages, but that's exactly what I was thinking of because we
yeah.
pass it, and John and I are like, "Ooh, the villages," like all the wild stuff about that. But Naples is a good place, Nita, with low miles. Same thing. But the villages, part of God's waiting room, and there's a lot of turnover in properties and different stuff
Yeah.
there. So you may even talk to somebody affiliated, like that works at the villages, to see if there's a special auction site or different things that people tend to use. And I would look at that.
Are you open to driving someone else's car across country where they pay for the trip and pay you for your time and then buy something in Arizona? Oh, yeah. Think about that. When you leave, if you buy a car in Florida, you're going to have to register it in Arizona. It
Hmm.
would actually be in your favor to buy the car in Arizona. Um, I don't know how much it is for a U-Haul, even a tiny U-Haul, because even the gas would be more in that to drive your stuff across country. Um,
I do, but I'm telling you, my first instinct was the same thing, that you get it in Arizona. I mean, I don't know if you could do a rental car even, and not a U-Haul, but like maybe
oh yeah.
you,
Well,
because
like what?
when we
Like
rented a minivan, and it was better than a U-Haul. Like
yeah,
one time when we were coming from Florida and we were bringing John's stuff back, instead of renting a U-Haul, which was like super expensive, we rented a minivan, like a passenger minivan, and laid the seats down and put the
yeah.
stuff.
And you can even pull over to a rest stop and like take a nap in that much more comfortably. Um,
Plus, you're not putting all those miles on a car that you're getting.
well, and like
Yeah,
I would
one way.
imagine a one-way rental. I would imagine like okay, so if there's an Enterprise in Florida and then an Enterprise in Phoenix, you might get a super cheap deal because you're bringing a car back to them or something. Like there might be something that we don't know about that people tap into.
Yeah, what Nita's saying is usually there's a drop-off fee for going to another location. But
Yeah,
if you look around and you call the place in Phoenix, there may be something that they're interested in getting their way, like what Kimberly's
yeah.
saying.
Or
Like,
there's
start with
even
that
deliveries.
side.
Like they might like say something needed to be brought, even people's moving boxes and stuff. Like if you, I mean, I know you don't have a lot of time to do this, but it would be really cool if you found some kind of network where like people in the military need to get their stuff from Florida to Arizona, and they would pay for you to get a van to fill up the back of it with their stuff and drive. Like I know that seems like such a like hyper specific, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you just have to put the idea out into the universe for these scenarios to come back and work with you.
Yeah. And there are websites, and I don't know them, but there are websites where you agree to transport something,
Yes.
and you might get paid enough to pay for the rental as part
Yeah.
of the transport. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Oh, okay. You're not okay. Okay. So you're yeah. What about okay, so there's drop-off fees, but maybe you can set yourself up in a way that you're just going from like one state to another and then getting into a different car. Like maybe there's a way to do it where you avoid some of those fees.
Make it less.
Yeah, and it allows you to do the traveling and the visiting and everything.
Oh, Nita had a great
Yeah,
idea. Transport an animal.
I have a friend who lives in Georgia that runs a service to help pair animals with their new owners, and she goes all over the place doing that. Um, yeah, you know what? Okay, Lisa, we're not giving you like an answer to your question. We'll tap in a minute, but what we're doing is helping you brainstorm and come and like maybe some of these ideas are going to open up some really beneficial scenarios that hadn't occurred to you before. Maybe.
Yeah, an avenue that you can pursue. But I think you're going to end up with a good car. I don't know what the tax rates are on Arizona versus Florida, but it may be also more.
Arizona's good. I know
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm thinking. I
Yeah.
feel like it's going to be more beneficial to buy there.
Yeah. Um, I have friends in Mesa, which would be on your path, which is right before Phoenix, and then you're going to go up above Phoenix to Sedona, unless you take a different route, but that would be the typical route. Um, well, California is expensive for everything, but I know Arizona is so much cheaper than here, so it might. I don't know.
I'll Google it real quick and
Yeah.
see.
No, it's fun to brainstorm and get ideas. Sorry, Emily, who do you want me to say hi to? Or thank
The
you?
animal transporter in Georgia.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, it's funny. I don't know why Shannon and I locked onto you transporting something or someone, but maybe maybe that's the key. Maybe you could get your trip paid for. Like, how cool would that be? And still be free, to do your thing. I'm thinking like, okay, so Florida has military bases, and I don't know anything about where anything else is except for here in San Diego. We have a ton of military bases, but if there's something in Arizona, there might be people that get moved and stationed, and you could actually bring their car to them by way of driving and then purchase your vehicle outside of Sedona, which would be.
Oh, this is something interesting. If you buy a private sale, like you don't go to a dealer in Arizona, there's no sales tax on it. Arizona does not charge sales tax on private party sales. And their sales tax rate is 5.6, and Florida's are average 7% because they vary based on geographic location.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. So maybe your trip will be in other vehicles, not the car you're going to end up in, which is great because then you're not putting the miles and everything on that. Huh.
Yeah, and I'm seeing you in a Toyota, like very specifically, which is interesting because I'm looking at Toyota. So I'm like, am I projecting this onto
Yeah.
her? But I don't think I am. I'm
Well,
seeing you
she was
in
like
like a cute little Toyota Honda.
she was looking at the same car that I have, and I was like, "Well, I can attest. I really like this car." Um, yeah. No, you know what? There are possibilities that because right now you have so many details that you're honed in on, like the move and changing everything in your life. You're compartmentalizing, but when you have 10 things ahead of you, it's hard to like really be open and free and brainstorm on just one of those topics. So, maybe that's what this was for.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, very cool. And that'll be fun, a fun week of freedom of traveling and exploring and an adventure before you land and you get back to business and find your place and find your job and all that.
Oh, she said she's
Yeah.
looking at a Toyota Prius or seeing a minivan. Those are great. And also, don't count out the new Corolla with a hatchback because it kind of gives you a little bit of both. You get the really good Corolla gas mileage, but it's got a little bit more room and it has like a hatchback thing. I'm obsessed with hatchbacks, but that's just a me thing.
Yeah. I went back and forth. It was funny when I in 2020, I decided to take Forrest to Sedona for his birthday, and it was the first time we had gone. I went when I was younger, but it was might as well have been the first time for both of us. So I was looking up Sedona, but the Kia Sedona van kept coming up, and I would laugh every time. And so finally, I clicked on a video, and I was like, "Huh, that, I kind of like it." I ended up getting a Sedona van because of that, and then driving it to Sedona for his birthday.
All Sedona all the time. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah. um, yes. Well, that's the thing about Like, that would be a cool okay, so say you got a van, Lisa. Having a van in Sedona would probably be very beneficial to you because you could then network and be the person that helps, with different things because you have a van. Like, that might open up opportunities to you. And then if you
Mhm.
wanted to cater, that would be a really good idea.
Yeah, you'd have plenty of room for things. And plus, vans are just comfortable. I mean, people can say what they want, but comfort is my top priority now in travel.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Buy a Prius to travel and then get a minivan when you get there. And then Sherry, I gave you a flashback to Cryon when I said compartmentalizing. Huh. Cryon's a trip. I like him. I listened to him when I first found him and then I stopped, but I like him.
And Emmett's the thing where, like, instead of a trunk, you like lift up the back and you can put stuff in it.
Yeah, like the rear
Yeah.
tailgate. Yeah.
Yeah, you can decorate, paint them, or live in them. And the comfort, and
Yeah.
plus, you could even do tours in a van like that. Like, welcome to Sedona. I'm going to take you to 3 energy vortexes.
Yeah,
There's
there
so
you
many
go.
people in and out.
Oh, that's it.
That's
Yeah,
what Kimberly's going to be doing with us, like giving us like, okay, we're going to go to this one and you guys should go there.
yeah. Well,
I mean,
Forrest knows where the good French fries are. I'll show you where the good French fries are.
I'm
That's his
down.
that's his contribution.
He's my kind of eater. I also love a good French fry.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, we're creatures of habit. So much to where I'm like, we have to do something different when we come back next year. We have to go to other places. um, yeah, well, cool. I'm happy for you, Lisa. And yeah, this is not the only time we're going to Sedona. So the more of y'all that move there or Sedona adjacent, then we can all get together. I'm stuck here but I'm allowing myself to be stuck here because there's too many good auspicious situations here for me. I'm not even a San Diego type of person, but the services for my son, my wedding cake company, our farm, I'd be a fool to leave any of that. So it's just road tripping.
That's what I was going to say. This is what vacay's for.
Yeah. Yes. I Okay, Lisa, you're gonna have to tell. I can't think of the name of the place where we go. It's just a this is for anybody that's gonna visit Sedona. When you go to what they call downtown, it's really just shops on two sides of the main freeway, which is the A or the A80 or something. Sorry, I shouldn't say freeway. It's like a throughway through Sedona. It's the main road, and Sedona's not very big. And when you're in their downtown, it's like strip mall is a bad way to say that. It doesn't feel like a strip mall at all, but it's just these two-story buildings that have all these cute shops everywhere. And we always go and park in the same one. You can park behind them for free. And there's a very cool and fun shop. Okay. There's a food court in a sense, and so Forrest gets his french fries and sits down and, like, does his thing, and then I look at the little stores around there, but what I love about it is the back of this has this huge open patio, which is looking right at a stunning view of, like, the Red Rocks, so it has everything you want. It has the parking, the cute shops, the good french fries, and then the stunning view, and it's very open and high ceiling. So it just, even though you're inside you know, to eat or whatever, it feels very open and expansive, and I like it. So I'll tell you the name when you get there.
Sherry, I
um,
also ate barbecue sauce with my fries.
Forrest is half barbecue sauce. Like if he were to give blood, it would be like half barbecue sauce. That's
I understand that.
Yeah. I'm not a barbecue sauce person. So I've like wanted to make it many times for him, like just get a recipe and make it. And I'm like, I couldn't taste it to test it because I wouldn't know what's good compared to something else because it just smells like Band-Aids to me. But everyone loves barbecue sauce. I know this. Some barbecue chips are good though. I will absolutely allow that. Oh, Shannon, I'm bringing you the salt from Peru that my friend brought back that is smoked salt. Yeah, I just put that.
Yeah.
I have that in the car for you. Yeah. All right. Well, oh yeah, M was just in Sedona a few weeks ago. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, we've somehow stayed on for 2 hours and 15 minutes with no direction or theme or plan, just chatting.
This
Did
is a good
anyone else?
thing.
Yeah, anyone else have a question or anything, or a question to ask any of the speakers next week on your behalf? Otherwise, we will. My dog, it keeps giving me the look, and when I ran off to the bathroom, I was laughing, thinking when we get to the conference, part of what we're doing, Shannon, is we go and get the. I'm so sorry. I just saw my shirt. My shirt's moving by itself, hanging, and I'm like, but in a weird way. But then I realized a bird was behind it. That was really weird. I almost was like, am I seeing something right now? Because um, sorry. So one of the things that we're going to do at the conference is we're going to regularly get the people and let them know, hey, 30 minutes before you go up on stage. That's out amongst, that's out everywhere. But then when they are on stage and they're getting close to their time, we have sheets of paper that say like 10 minutes or 15 minutes to give them like, hey, you're going to be done in like 10 minutes. And I hate doing it because I always feel like I'm going to break your concentration. But I was thinking my dog is like, she's giving me that like 10 minutes. Like you have 10 more minutes and then you're done. You're done on your live because it's walk time. Like I felt like she wanted to just hold that up. It's funny.
It's better than the old fashioned. Remember the hooks, like in the old days? Like when
Yes.
your time was up, you got hooked.
Yeah.
And there's also no gong, but you have to be old to remember those things.
Oh, I do.
Me too.
Yeah. Well, Amber was just there. Okay, so M was there a month ago, a few weeks ago. Amber was literally there Monday? Was she
Mm-hmm.
there Monday? Yeah, Tuesday. She was there Tuesday because I was at my farm when I was texting with her. We're gonna be there next week, and then Lisa's gonna be there at the end of the month. Like we're all harnessing the energy in different ways. Oh, cool.
Oh,
Okay, you'll be
cool.
watching Tone and Rion live at the Humankind Center for Stellar this weekend. Yeah, because they're spinning, right? Or Rion's spinning. So maybe Tone got there early. That's rad. The Humankind Center is really cool, you guys. It's like this little, you walk in at street level, but then you go downstairs. So you're actually, I guess, no, you're not underground. I don't, it doesn't matter. But you go downstairs to get into it. And then it's not very big inside, but it's really cool the way they have it set up because we had quite a few speakers there on Monday after the conference last year. And it was a good it's a more intimate setting. It still holds quite a few people, but it's a more intimate setting. But then it's a good place for dancing because it's like just enough space, and then the DJ is just on a small space at the end of it. But it's a cool location. It would be a good place for a party. Yeah, and we're all activating Sedona up the wazoo. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, maybe John will give you a flannel shirt um sexy dance or something now that we're done. Maybe he's in the mood now.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I can only hope, ladies. I can only hope. And
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks everybody for just hanging out. Oh,
yes,
okay.
thank you all. Have a great weekend.
Sherry's saying free to register at Humankind Center site. The link is in the morning coffee description box. Okay. Um, well, you just look up the Humankind Center in Sedona. It'll probably lead you to that link. Okay, yeah, everybody, yes, sleep well. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful week. I'm sure we'll show up in some capacity. It might not be for long, and it might be kind of chaotic, but we'll still do it because it would be really cool to at least have a bunch of people there, just walk by and say hi to everybody. That would be really fun. So
Yep.
I have a tripod. I'll see if I can.
Kimberly will figure this out. I have no
Yeah,
doubt.
yeah, without a bird, without a bird or a kid yelling in the background. Once we pass the 2 minute mark, it just gets loud and wild again in here. Like that's as much as everybody can keep it together in my household. Happy May Day, and yes, thank you, friends, for being a part of this and for sharing your energy and making this a priority because it feels really good when we're all here together. So thank you.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you. Have a
we
great weekend, everybody.
we love you. Thank you, John. Can't wait to meet you can't wait to meet you, Shannon and John in person. Like what a
Yeah.
trip that we haven't already. Okay, bye everybody.